It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Iron Maiden with Wasted Years, Mr. Akin. Mr. Akin.
Well, I know all about those.
Are you not paying attention?
No, I just forgot to turn the mic back on.
Oh, well, that helps.
I was here. I was ready.
Right. Well,
I started talking and didn't hear a shit in my headphones. I was like, oh, shit.
I thought you were a professional.
Who said that?
Well, that was the impression I had.
I never said that.
Well, speaking of professionals, we got a guy on the line here, so let me introduce him in the most grand ways.
Okay.
Can I play with madness? No, you can't.
Pen and paper out, everyone.
I wrote the book on Slayer, shut up.
The time has come once again to learn all about metal.
So I'm loving metal. Woo!
We're talking metal with the CMS metal correspondent, Eric Braverman.
Snarling, fantastic. He's a man.
And now, here's your CMS correspondent himself, Eric Braverman.
Awesome.
Welcome, Mr. Braverman.
You're welcome. I'm just struggling with how do I listen to the Classic Metal Show and heavy metal television at the same time. Like, it was literally, my mind is going back and forth between the Iron Maiden and the loudness and the Danzig, and I'm just, all right. I've got 10 points to make, and you guys, you and Chris, make the call, pick 1 through 10 in no particular order.
Well, before we get into this, Mr. Braverman.
God damn you professional people. Yes, sir.
Are you still mad at Mr. Akin? Are you angry with him in any way?
No, absolutely not. Matter of fact, I propose a 48-hour sleeping bag marathon where me and Chris are just in a big sleeping bag, in a big Michael Jordan or Star Wars sleeping bag, just calling the next song. Like, just boom. White Snake, Slow and Easy. What do you think, Chris?
I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it. God. All right, next up. That wasn't even on my list of top 10 things. I was going to talk to you guys about that after we got off the phone when we do that contractual stuff at the end of every year.
Right.
That the kids at home don't get to hear about, you know?
Sure.
The lawyers, the shouting, the chandelier breaking.
Right.
Well, I'm just gonna grab a number out of the air, and I'm gonna say number 5.
Number 5. I'm looking at the chart right now. Number 5, Judas Priest. Just want to let you guys know, everybody, that Mr. Neeley and Mr. Akin are right. And what is funny is, and Judas Priest tells you everything about this, is now it's like, I don't even know how we're going to build into this more because people don't understand how important the Classic Metal Show is. But, you know, they're going to do another tour. They'll be back in America playing a show. I just want to that's the first thing I want to let you know before you heard that from anyone else. And I got that straight from the golf clubs in Glenn Tipton's golf cart. It was that close a connection. And it's just, I'm excited. And also we have 100% endorsement of heavy metal television from the Judas Priest camp. They're not one of the people that fight us. Any Judas Priest questions?
Where's KK going to be sitting for that tour?
Here's the thing. You know what? Wow, Chris. Do I have to retract the sleeping bag marathon thing? Like, it's been how long? Let's look at the guy. It's been 2 minutes.
Right.
You know, that's such a bone of contention. But what I've already proposed, and I'm lobbying behind in a very heavy manner, and I would say in a very almost what some people would consider out of line or rude, is why can't they do the Iron Maiden, Leonard Skinner thing? Just come on, we won't kick this poor guy out. We bring you back in. It's just more metal on top of metal. Why is this even a discussion? So that's kind of how I'm answering that to them and you and the guy on the street and, you know, my leather manufacturer.
And by the guy on the street, do you mean KK?
Ouch. You know, mister, if you know, ow. Whoa.
Just ask him. He's not in a band.
The man lives on a golf course. It's so bad for him. He lives on a golf course. Do I need to go mean, he's not on the street. He lives on a golf course. Let's understand that, metal fans.
So when he's not slinging an axe, he's slinging a club. Is that it?
I don't even know how much golf he's playing right now. I'll call him. Maybe I could call him like while we're on, get him on a conference call. He is what he's into now is I think he's kind of like, whoa, I missed the flying V and the feedback. So he's like very much into promoting young bands right now, which he's putting time and effort into actually listening to bands, recording them, trying to get them proper shows in England or Europe. And, like, he's all into that. So his golf game, it's like, I think he just likes the fact that you can just walk out in the backyard and it's just a nicely groomed lawn. I don't even know if he plays it every day. It's a very good question, Chris.
Thank you.
2 in a row.
I'm gonna ask you one that's not on the list. Now that we got one off the list, I'm gonna go off the list.
How do you know? I have 10. Wait, smart fuck. I got 10. I got 10 subjects here, and it's 1 through 10. So what you might say right now might be on this list.
Oh, I doubt it. But I'm going to assume that it's not. But if it is, then fine. Why can't I watch heavy metal television on my Roku?
That's a very good question. Went to Roku. And, Roku, R-O-K-U, we went to Roku. We even went to, like, the Dish people. I had meetings with the Dish people, and Roku did this, too. I walk in, I'm having the meeting. They're like, hey, this is going great, but this is so important. You better fly here. So whatever. I have multiple meetings with them, and at one meeting I say, well, every single TV being made is a smart TV, so everyone can just plug their TV into heavy metal television. Why do we need Apple TV because Apple's stealing? Or why do we need Roku? Well, I don't even get Roku. We don't need Roku. Roku's irrelevant. It's 2014. Goodbye, Roku. Everybody you can connect the internet and you get a PS4, play Call of Duty and watch heavy metal television. It's because Roku is for dinosaurs. Next question.
I'm a dinosaur, though. I've got 2 Rokus. I want to watch heavy metal television.
You know what's funny, Chris? You're like the Terminator. You're like kind of a man with a wheelchair built into it and then some circuitry. Who even knows, right? You've changed sizes, you've changed dimensions, you can do anything. Like, Roku, really? Roku's bullshit. All you need is the internet.
I love Roku, though.
Internet and four. What is that called, Chris? 4 gigs or 4 megs? 4 megs.
4 gigs of what? Of
hard drive space? To watch heavy metal television, you basically need like 4 megs or 4 gigs. One of those gigs or megs.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I do. Don't get me wrong. As we were talking at the beginning of the show, I do watch it. But the only way I can watch it, and I have a new TV. I bought my TV literally a year and a half ago. It's not old.
You need to go in and talk to the person who sold that to you and go, why can't I watch heavy metal television on my TV?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll give me a refund.
Well, either that or you just have it. You could just take your emotional baggage out on that guy.
I guess
like,
so.
You don't even care about the TV. It's really about just, I need to tear somebody up. And if somebody's telling you that you can't watch whatever you want through the internet, through your flat screen TV, they're a bad salesman.
Well, now, yeah, but a year and a half ago it wasn't quite like
that. No, but also wait a minute. You guys always do this. That's why there would be no heavy metal television if it wasn't for you two and the Classic Metal Show. So it's really about, like, and you know this better than anyone. Why don't you answer your own question? The technology and the platforms and the delivery systems change, every 4 hours now? There's so much competition and brutality.
But here's what I know, Eric, and this is why I'm making the Roku pitch once again. I know for a fact that if you can run heavy metal television on a phone, then I can grab the IP address, set it up on a Roku channel, and make it work.
No, you're right. You're right, and we should do that. And part of that is you're smarter than us. But you also have to understand, we met with Roku. They jumped out the windows without opening them.
Yeah, but fuck them. Just put it up. Put it as a private
channel. Why don't you do it? What do I got to do to get you to do it then?
Send me the IP address to the stream.
Because you're the IP. All right, I'll find. I guess I could shake that out of somebody Monday morning.
Send me the IP address, and I will build you a channel just like I built the
CMS
channel.
But you could even call it the heavy metal television presented by the classicmetalshow.com, because I don't know if you slept with some people at Roku, but you're the most passionate Roku person to come at me. And you have to remember, I went to Roku at the beginning and said, I have a channel for you.
Yeah,
and then I just heard glass breaking, and people being fired. Okay, pick from 1 to 10.
All right, I will go with number 8.
Wow. Okay, number 8. It's kind of funny. I don't know if I could read that one. It's so badly put together. No, number 8 is, we have been running this as a radio station or a television network for so long, and we feel confident because you guys have to understand, you're part of the party. We're on the Mexican border right now. I've had too much to drink, smoke, and whatever those pills were in that piece of paper that kid gave me. I don't care. But the thing is, we have been doing this for a year now, thanks to you guys. That year we had is right now as this minute clicks over. And now we're ready to have an advertising person. So that could be one of you. It could be Lois Lane. I don't know. It could be that guy from Mad Men. I'm trying to get a hold of that guy, Draper. And then we just have someone that could sell advertising as an international 24-hour-a-day best, most sought-after demographic in the world, the 17 to 37-year-old male. And anyone out there, please, God, help me. Bring an ad person to me. Name your commission. Tell me what I got to pay you, and start selling advertising for heavy metal television, the world's first and only ever internet television network, which delivers the cable and dish experience for free to everyone in the world. Eric, of the best content of the world, which, again, goes back to, if I didn't have to play, The Devil Wears Prada, believe me, I wouldn't. It would just be classic metal.
Eric,
so I might start classic metal television next Wednesday when I'm done with Godzilla television, but number 8 is God, heaven, Satan, Allah, Buddha, Freddy Krueger. Send me an ad rep. Okay.
Eric,
scratch off number 8.
Eric, if I may be so bold, and you don't even have to answer this if you're not comfortable with it. At this point, how is heavy metal television being funded, and what keeps it on the air for free? Where is the backing coming from?
Well, it basically goes to, if you watch heavy metal television, it has goofy commercials 4 or 5 times an hour, and I've known so many people, and so many people like this, that trickles in enough to pay some audio video guys, pay our broadband bill. I don't know what your broadband, or your bandwidth bill, your streaming bills, or any of that is a month.
My bill for the Classic Metal Show and the CMS Radio Network averages about $200 a month.
Okay, well, kick down. Mine, let's just 10 times that times 5. I just got my bill for that, and I'm looking at like $3,300 and hoping you guys are going to sell some ass for me to help pay that.
Well, what do your backers get out of this at this
point? They get exposure on the first internet television network ever to the demographic, which they seem to say is so mysterious, the 17 to 37-year-old male. It's international, it's free, and 200,000 Pantera fans have logged on, and many of them come back.
Sure. I'll bet you you'd have no problem selling ads if it was on Roku.
Well, the funny part is, I deal with I'm trying to deal with the Fixion people to do Blabbermouth and Eddie Trunk's website and Brave Words, and they jumped out the window without opening it too.
Oh,
we're done. I'm trying to help.
Though. We used to do Fixion. They blow.
Is that what it is? Because they're so scared of me. It's like when I call them or email them, it's like they're going to a haunted house.
Well, let me just tell you, they forgot. And Neeley, you remember this. They quote-unquote forgot to pay us for a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, War Ensemble Live, playing on heavy metal television. All right, that was a quick break. Fixion, these things. So again, I didn't want to under-deliver because I already know I'm going to over-promise, so I don't want to under-deliver on top of that. So I I wanted this thing running for a year, so when I want to punch Facebook in the face, I know what I'm talking about. Speaking of gangsters.
Yeah.
Jesus. Really? I can buy Twitter followers? Well, thank you, you fucking whores.
Nice.
What does it mean? What does it mean? I don't even know anymore. All I know is I have the world's first internet television network, and when I talk to people, they ask about stuff like Nielsen ratings. You ever heard of that?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
How many Nielsen rating family members have you had intercourse with? Okay, none. How many Nielsen families ever lived in your neighborhood? Either of you?
None.
Thank you. How many Nielsen families have you ever heard of in any part of your family tree since great grandpa came over from wherever the floop and ever had a Nielsen box in their house? How many?
Well, that would be none.
Well, thank you. So everything's bullshit, people of the world. So that's why they listen to the Classic Metal Show, because you guys always dissect that, but you just dissected about Queensryche, where I kind of dissected about, what the church is doing.
Right.
So you guys are on target. Are you going to pick a number, or are you going to keep fighting with me, Chris?
As soon as you let us, you're the one that
It
keeps
must be me. You know that Mark Eglinton, S.O.B., that Scottish guy that writes books about James Hetfield? He did the Rex Brown book.
Yes, we had him on the show.
Yeah, he made me go and hang out with Rex Brown the other night.
I bet
That
was
bastard.
Fun.
But we have a lot of these fights. Same stuff. And it's like, dude, we're on a rock going 28,000 miles an hour. Nobody has anything figured out. You're Scottish. Shut up. Okay, let's pick a number. He does this too. I tell him, just Mark Eglinton, you write books, pick a number.
2.
2 is good. All right, 2, this is fun. I am still explaining heavy metal television. You guys ever heard of Adrenaline PR?
Yes, Maria, what's her name? Maria? Is that right?
Kind of.
Is that who's
have you ever heard of Nuclear? You ever heard of Nuclear Blast Records?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. You know what's fun? It's my whole life. I would sit here and we're drinking some whiskey and enjoying smoking the peace pipe and holding a snake in one hand and a turtle in the other. And the mailman would come, and a Monsters of Metal DVD would come in the mail from Nuclear Blast Records. And it would have 50 or 100 promotional videos on it. I'm not even joking. Have you guys ever seen these things?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, I've got them all. And they would send them to me. Hey, EB, here you go, Monsters of Metal. And I'd be like, what do I do with this? I'm an idiot who has a small metal show that's only 10% of Metal Hammer's all-time video views on their video page. They're not dumbasses. Team Rock, Team Fuck, where's my knife? Okay. I did all that stuff, and then Nuclear Blast sends me these things. So I didn't know what to do. So I started Heavy Metal Television, and one of the things I built it on was Nuclear Blast promotional videos. Hey, they think I'm up to something bad. Free to them, free to their fans. Okay. Thank you. You want to pick another number, or you want me to crush those two companies some more?
No. How about number 4?
Well, I need to mark this. Okay. Number 4 is just Heavy Metal Television. You were one of the first people that I talked to about this, and here it is a year later. Seems to me like 4 hours.
Right.
Since I did that on the last time, or not the last time I was on the show, but when I announced this a year ago on your show, you were one of the very first group of folks I even had the guts to tell this crazy story to. And we got it started. It's been a year, and we're up and running, and we are the only ever internet television network. And it's all metal all the time, and I'm just really proud of that. And we're having our anniversary right now. We have 22 people working our staff. We had a meeting with Wendy Dio last week. The fun never ends.
How important are Veronica's breasts to the broadcast?
Wait a minute. Veronica's one of the 1 through 10 if you would just fucking pick 1 through 10.
Well, Eric, I'm going to have to argue a point that you've made here 2 or 3 times.
Okay, good.
and I'm not going with content here. I'm just going with the platform.
Yes, sir.
What about Glenn Beck Television?
Glenn, is that running right now?
Yes.
Where you just, if you put in Glenn Beck Television, you have to make a decision. It's a website that he plays videos on. And he's not live. He's not there right now doing a show. What are you, on acid?
Well,
he's a Mormon.
But I'm just going by your verbiage.
Yeah, but people, if you go through the internet, that's the joke. There's a million things that say network, television station, channel. YouTube uses the word channel like you use the television channel. Go to his thing right now and challenge me with something that can compete with me. Glenn Beck?
How about Alex Jones?
I'm surprised you know that name. That's how sick you are. Because if you know Badlands and Metal Church and Dawkins and Deep Purple and Glenn Beck, there's some seriously disconfigured mental foundations moving around the house there. I would call those even like Patagonia type things, or just, continent. You're just so out there. Like, really? Glenn Beck? I'll punch Glenn Beck in the neck. He don't have shit. Go to his website right now. It's a website where you watch a video through it. He doesn't have no live VJ on tonight. He doesn't have a live host on right now. Let's go to the internet right now, kids. Because my favorite thing is to be challenged.
Right.
It's my favorite. Like, really? So let's go to the internet and just look up Glenn Beck Television and start laughing at how low and scared he is to do what we're doing. Not to mention, that's one of the people that's trying to, but it'll never work, because the founding fathers already ruined America in the first place. So you can't come along as Barack Obama and ruin it with a stupid. They can't. Look at that. Barack Obama can't make a website, and you're going to challenge me with Glenn Beck? Why don't you give me a guy that's got his trigger on some nuclear shit that can't handle a website?
Right. Well, you answered the question, Eric. So basically,
ouch.
What you're saying is that heavy metal television is real time.
Yeah, but not only that, it's this. If you go to glennbeck.com, which leads to his, you could see Glenn Beck Television, which I think is funny. If you go to his thing, right off the bat, when you go there, the first thing they ask you to do is sign into their bullshit. Right. Please give me information. That's the first thing they do. So if you go there, are you talking about his thing, the Blaze TV?
Yeah, the Blaze TV, right.
Okay, so you go to Blaze TV, and it's a disgusting website with a video player where I've got to press a button to make something play with a bunch of ads all over it, including 3 pictures of Glenn Fuck. The dumbest motherfucker I've ever heard in my life, and I don't care if he shit $2 billion last night. He's still an idiot. And I plan on, if I ever see him, I'll spread him on a Ritz and be done with him probably quicker than you could say, hey, would you like a taco with that? He's just a jerk. Like, really? That's your push against heavy metal television? Is this Blaze TV website with a YouTube player on it, son? I'm running a television network here. Glenn Beck can't afford it.
Okay.
I'm kind of pissed now. I can hardly wait for you to ask another idiotic question. Go to his website right now. Where did you even get the idea to ask this?
Well, because you said you were the only...
Yeah, but if you go there, this is a website playing videos. It's got a player on it, and there's nothing live. This isn't running for you. You go menu. This is a menued out thing. I don't give you a menu. You're allowed to kick back and enjoy your Budweiser while we play Dawkins. Are you kidding me?
So
but
you're
at least I can watch it on Roku.
Rogue, go ahead and call them. You have to understand, again, I went to them and said, I have this. They jumped out the window. What was I supposed to do? Take that splattered body off this 12th floor window that they jumped to the street and scrape it into a cookie pan and do what with it, Chris?
All right, Eric, number 9.
I went to Roku day 1. But if you want to do it, we'll talk about that over time, and that could be your own project, and tell me what I pay you out of it.
Fine with me. I will make it happen just so I can watch it.
Because you're just smarter than me. So it's like that's like a doctor coming in and going, I can take a heart out of a person, can you? It's like, yeah, I can, but they won't be alive when I'm done.
Right. All right.
Number
9. Number 9.
God, I don't know why. I worked on this shit. I worked on this for 14 hours. All right. All right, what... You guys will know this more than anyone because we're all confused. What do metal fans want right now from either these websites or bands, but just in an entertainment delivery system? What do metal fans want right now? So you people out there, tell these two guys so they can tell me, what do you want? You want that metal show? Is that what you want?
No.
Do you want those goofy Canadians that make those documentaries once in a while?
Who, Sam
Like-
Gunn?
Yeah, that's like all there is. What else is there? Or do you want Metal Hammer, where Alex Milas, who's got the spine of an old loogie, doing an interview? Like, what do you metal fans want from us?
What about, like, Talking Metal? That was pretty good.
Where is it? What's going on with it?
It's dead. Come on.
And not only that, I can get better guests just to come over and enjoy some guacamole with me than they can get on their show.
That's probably true.
We just had a great weekend the other weekend where it just kind of didn't stop. We're like 1 minute we're with like a Rex Brown, which I think you guys have or is coming on. Like, that's a legend. Sure, he looks 85 years old. He's still a legend.
Yeah.
And there's no nyah.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
Who made that nyah sound?
Because he's kind of a dick.
So what? Have you been to 4 Pantera shows in a row?
Yeah, I have, actually.
Okay, well, aren't you kind of dicked out from it?
Okay, good point. Fair point.
I'll punch someone in the mouth. I would walk out of a Pantera show and I would just start shit with people at the grocery store. What'd you say? Dun, 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 dun. And, it's like, you can't even go there. Pantera, sure, they got the legendary status because of the Hendrix-esque way that someone died early. But I went to, like, 5 or 6 Pantera shows in a row with, like, Slayer, and, like, their fans were more idiotic than Slayer fans. Which I didn't think was possible until I looked back at that.
Yeah, that is possible.
And I went to the last shows when that stuff was dissolving. I went to their last 6 American shows or North American shows that they ever did.
Wow.
It's another magical thing I have under my belt. And it was stupid. It was Pantera, Slayer, Morbid Angel. It was like 3 other idiotic bands like Static X, and then 2 bands that don't even exist anymore. It was tripped out.
Sure.
So you're not wrong. They just make for, like, he's a dick, but I don't know what he did to you personally, but he did have sex with a woman I cared about.
Wow.
So I think that outpains your pain.
Oh, yeah, it definitely did. No, he was just a dick at a meet and greet. The other 3 guys were awesome, and he was a fucking cock.
Okay, well, when you drink a bottle of whiskey before 2 in the afternoon, you might act like Jack Sparrow. It's just kind of... check this out. This is really funny you say that, because, again, you're smarter than me. This all goes back to Wendell's first, hey, do you have a problem with Chris-Akin? Of course not. I'm trying to keep up. But, those guys were so loony and loopy. It's just like I don't know. You're not wrong. I just don't know if he was being a dick or he didn't know where he was. But when I just went to see him the other day with this lovely band, Kill Devil Hill,
yeah,
where my goal was can we get Vinny Appice to wear a heavy metal television T-shirt? Which we did finally get done. It only took 7 hours, but it was awesome. It's like he sees me and he's making all these funny faces.
Right.
I'm like, can I help you? And then I'm thinking, like, he's talking to me. And then his personal tech is from Arizona, and I've known him for 30 years, and we're just hanging out and already smoking weed and having dinner and blah, 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 blah. And Rex comes in, and it probably took him an hour to figure out who I was. Because all of a sudden, he sees the heavy metal television shirt on somebody that says, finally, heavy metal television. Then on the back, it says, thank you, Satan, of course. And he looks at that, and he's like, oh, EB, yeah. Only EB would be a big enough jackass to make that shirt. But it like took him an hour to get there. So at a meet and greet, he's only got half an hour. He probably didn't even know there was a meet and greet.
Oh, he knew, but he was just a douche. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, look, that was a long time ago. But...
You're right. It's just I don't think he was doing it to be mean.
Number 7, Eric. Number 7.
Thank you, someone, the control guy. This is such a small one. How important is Dio to the heavy metal television and classic metal show community? We're kind of starting to deal with the Dio camp and Windy Dio some more. Do you think I should be nice to them, be cool to Dio's legacy, or is it just really not a big a deal as people are saying it is?
Well, what is the controversy with the Dio camp? I
think part of it is I'm involved, but Windy Dio is like the coolest person in the world, and they have other big things going on, like this rock and roll museum, I believe, in California somewhere, and some stuff like that. So it's just kind of funny that one of our board members, because we have a president and a entertainment lawyer and a contract lawyer and a general manager and all these people that are that work in those offices upstairs, where I'm in my little cubicle here by the boiler. That they just were like, hey, Dio and Windy Dio want this and that, and this. Like, Windy Dio doesn't even have like a Rainbow in the Dark or a Holy Diver. Like, she doesn't have Holy Diver video laying around her office.
Wow.
And she's like, well, you guys want to do this and that. Can you help me build a Dio library? So that's pretty fun, isn't it? All right, use your imagination. Pick another number. You might get through these tonight.
I want to stay on the Dio just for a second. I want to make a point.
Yeah. Good.
It's cool, and obviously you should be involved with the Dio thing, because Dio is obviously one of the most important guys in the history of our music. That being said, you shouldn't just cave into it and just accept all of it like this fucking...
Well, here's the deal. Here's the funny part. I was already playing when this all came up, and they had a meeting about this like a week ago again, because they have meetings all the time, these people. Nuclear Blast Records, Metallica, they have meetings. Well, I had already playing every MTV type of Dio video, every live Dio thing from his entire career, Rainbow, every heaven and hell thing I can get. So I didn't really get the question.
Well, no, the question is...
I'm already doing it.
The question is, or the point is fine to accept Dio, not so fine to accept all these offshoots that are kind of prostituting his legacy. Dio disciples...
Which is what would you say would be the number one... We'll ask this question and move on.
Okay.
People of America. What prostitutes his legacy?
The project that Vivian Campbell is doing, playing Dio tunes out on tour, prostituting his legacy.
Now, how sick is this?
Okay,
you're jamming with Def Leppard.
Yep.
It's just a blowjob machine. Is all it is. You go
right.
And then you stop and say, "I'm going to get." So Vivian Campbell has a kind of a classic metal sickness. Like, it's not just prostituting. He's as sick as a prostitute. Because how do you, Def Leppard's got a 5-minute break. I mean, it's not like Joe Elliott isn't a hard worker. So Vivian Campbell goes, and he does other stuff. So he's obviously mental. I don't know if that's prostituting or someone that just is like, hey, you on the 10-speed, you want to play the guitar with me?
Yeah, but the problem is that Vivian Campbell spent 20 years talking about what a dick Dio was, and now now that Dio's not there, then he's going to make money off of those tunes.
You've had people die and you've spit on their grave, or you sat on it and drank booze and cried about it. People do that all the time. Oh, I hate Larry, and then 2 weeks later, Larry died. Oh, me and Larry were so tight.
But that's bullshit. I would never do that. I personally
you wouldn't. Again. We're on the Mexican border having a heavy metal television anniversary party, and we're talking to you guys. I think you're underplaying how you two can read stuff. Like, you're reading stuff in Vivian Campbell's life in advance of him reading it.
Could very well be true.
I just made myself laugh. It is true. Have you ever talked to that guy?
I have. He's a dick.
It's not even dick. It's like, what did you say? It's like, come on, man, I know English is in there somewhere. So he says, I don't know if it's prostituting or if that's egomaniacal sickness.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stop Joe Elliott either. Like, the tour ends, right? And Joe Elliott's wife is from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I was the last person to try to, pull it before he ran off with her. And her name's Christine, and she's a lovely woman. And it's just kind of funny that, like, his tour will end, and then he'll be like, I'm going in the studio to record Sinatra songs. It's like, what? Can you take 2 hours off? Like, last time I saw him, he was telling me he's putting out a Paul McCartney tribute record. I'm like, why? Are we prostituting Paul McCartney?
Yeah, but the difference is Joe Elliott hasn't spent 20 years talking about what a fucking terrible musician Paul McCartney is.
Well, maybe in private.
But not in public. Vivian did it in public for years.
Well, you're too smart for your own good. Once again, chris-akin. Next number.
3.
3 is a good one. It's been 6 months since Jeff Hanneman died.
Okay.
And I consider myself one of the 3 friends, that's stretching it, that could actually talk to him. So I just want everybody, wherever you are in classic metal, we all like Angel of Death and Raining Blood and South of Heaven. Those are disgusting songs. And they could try to replace him physically with a human. But you could hear, like, if you go on YouTube right now and watch a show that they did last night in Columbus or wherever, that weird picking and a grinning isn't in there. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows out there that Jeff Hanneman was super special and is everything about classic metal. He loved UFO, for instance. That was he thought he was aspiring to be Michael Schenker. And I tried many times to get them two together, by the way.
Wow.
One time I was extremely close. Jeff was in the car or close to the car, and Schenker was waiting, and then there was crazy weirdness in Arizona with a broken air conditioner. So Jeff got all mad and ran down the street, and his wife told me to cool it down, and that was recent.
Did you ever think that Jeff Hanneman would not outlive Michael Schenker?
You were a funny guy tonight. Michael Schenker spent a lot of personal time in Arizona. I think he got, like, the cross on his forehead here in Arizona. I remember somebody bringing me a single classified ad, like in a single free newspaper here in town, like a single scene, and like he's clearly being Michael Schenker and doing a singles ad. So I would thought that's a really, really, really great question, because it's not about killing yourself or someone else killing you. I thought somebody in UFO might have just killed him sometime.
Nice.
Number 10. We were in L.A. one time. We were in L.A. the last time Schenker was with UFO, because they're so great. We're like, we got to be there for that. And all of a sudden, like at sound check, somebody runs in and goes, "Schenker's taking the motorhome." I'm like, "Schenker's taking the motorhome?" So, they just spent like 6 hours looking for him in L.A. in a motorhome. Look it up.
Number 10.
God, I love this person says 1 or 10 is a sign of sanity. This is a point about the classic metal show.
All right.
Guess what? The only shit worth a flute that I could find for the most part is classic metal. I've got a 3,000 video database. I play 8,000 videos a month on heavy metal television, and the essence or best part of it is always bands that you guys have been talking about for 17 years.
18 years.
18. Hey, I am so flooping sorry to be one off. I'm trying.
It's a milestone for me, Eric.
I'm trying really hard right now. It's kind of funny that you guys kind of own this, and it's like metal has become, and get this part, because this is the point that'll drive it home. It's become classical music. It's like, is there going to be another Mozart or Beethoven? I guess not.
Oh, probably not.
So you might as well focus in on the classic metal show.
Right.
Because these bands, I go to these festivals, and I'm like, really? Really, right now? Like, I listen to that Avenged Sevenfold album, I'm like, why? Did you spend an hour? Come on. Work with me. And then every band now from Metal Blade, no one wants to sing anymore. It's just, I made up a term which you guys use, the Cookie Monster vocal. That was made up, that was patented by Eric Braverman in 1993. And that's it?
That's all they're doing.
Come on, Amarth? Your band's pretty good. Why fuck it up?
Right.
What are they hiding behind? You have the masks of Slipknot, and like that hides your identity. What hides your identity more than changing your voice to sound like a puppet or a Muppet? So it's really number 10 is basically heavy metal. It's kind of like say I did classical music television, it would be all classical music, easy to define, classical music. And that's kind of what metal is. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because people don't want to practice anymore or they're too busy with their nook. I don't know. But they don't put that effort that Iron Maiden put in. They don't put that effort that Judas Priest put in. They don't put that effort that AC/DC put in, or pretty much what your playlist is.
Right.
All right. I didn't mean to bum you out with 10.
Nope,
but
not at all.
All right, number 6.
So I thought you guys would really like that. Which is kind of good. This is funny because you never know how this is going to come out when you pick from 1 to 10. But this number you just picked is thank you. Thank you, CMS, for existing, for supporting real metal, because people get scared of what we do here. It doesn't matter if I'm doing the greatest music ever created and how it ruined our lives. It doesn't matter if I'm working on a Slayer DVD. It doesn't matter if I'm sending my monster guy right now and negotiating with Kirk Hammett's horror festival, and my monster guy needs to come make it look cool because they don't have cool enough monster guys. Everyone's upset. Oh my God, James Hetfield might cry. That the Classic Metal Show supported these shenanigans, gets the jokes, has the right playlist, and straight up, this number is just about thank you, Classic Metal Show, for what you do and giving a quality product for the right price. Har, goofs out there that have, there's more entertainment here in 2 seconds without ever hearing of me than is on DirecTV tonight in 175 million channels.
Right. And it doesn't cost you $100 a month.
Right. And hey, I'm sorry to bum you guys out again with the heavy stuff, but it's just the year, when I can see into Mexico through the fence, and we're down here on the border enjoying it, and I told everyone to shut up. They make another sound before we knock that piñata full of syringes apart for our first anniversary party. It's just great that the Classic Metal Show is not weird like Nuclear Blast or Adrenaline PR or Dave Mustaine or anyone like that.
Right.
I did hang out with Dave Ellison, who's a very nice man who likes you guys, for his book signing here. I came to the book signing. I'm like, hey, you got to do a guest VJ thing. And he's like, well, I'm doing my book signing. I'm like, all right, well, these people in line will do. And so I'm just having the people in line introduce the videos I wanted him to introduce with him in the background, and we're kind of calling him out as irresponsible. Like, Dave Ellison's supposed to introduce this video, but he's busy signing a book.
Right.
He's too nice for his own good, but doing good.
Sure. All right, Eric, we're down to number 1.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say it's over. All right, number 1, I put another thing you did this year, and you did for me and rock fans of the world and heavy metal television, is make sure that we talk to this Veronica Freeman of this Benedictum band with their new album Obey out on Frontiers Records, that we met through you, but at the same time our people were meeting them, so it was even weirder. Like, why are people bugging me about this woman? And now she's a VJ, a resident VJ on our network. She helps with all kinds of stuff with it, and it's just been awesome. And again, you guys took a band that's not known as a classic metal band, but has a classic metal sound and delivers it very well in a fresh and dynamic way, and with a woman, which is cool too. just more women doing this is great. We like to play a lot of women on heavy metal television. We play them all. Doesn't matter. We're like, what? There's a woman singing? It could be Plasmatics or Huntress or Eyes Set to Kill, Landmine Marathon. We play like newest bands with girls all the way back to Girls School. We actually play Girls School in our normal rotation.
Right.
So just, number one was that I put down here was thank you for Veronica, who has been a really cool guest VJ and cool person to deal with, and actually quite a good and dynamic performer.
And it doesn't suck to have those big bouncy boobs on your screen.
She has boobs?
Come on.
Well,
there was we had to get docking equipment and permits. Yeah.
Right.
there was like, hey, you're going to land those here? This isn't, you had to build a foundation and get contractors. But they held it together.
Well, she made the trip out about 6 weeks ago and co-hosted the Classic Metal Show live with us in the studio. And
didn't she do it with another guest, another woman?
Well, she did it with Leather Leone of Chastain.
I love her. But I like her more than Veronica. I'm like, we'll get rid of Veronica and get her in here.
But Veronica actually came here to the studio and
well, that's cool, man. Yeah, she did. She told me all about that. I'm so, like I said, there's certain people you deal with. Even if you deal with them for 2 hours a year, it's still better than dealing with your sister twice a week. So you guys, like, I could not hear from you. It could be like a nuclear thing happen, or whatever it might be. Finally, the Tea Party takes over and there's not communication anymore. Then I meet you guys at like a camp, like a Tea Party work camp, and you guys are there. I would just be ready to broadcast that night. I don't even care if it's 10 years from now.
Right.
You're folks that are always going to be welcome around that fire. Okay.
Well, there we go. We ran through your list, 1 through 10.
What the hell? I need a pen or something. I'm like, 1, 2, 4, 14, 17. Oh, all right. I was thinking ahead. I'm sorry.
Sure. All right, Eric, real quick, if you can, Chris and I and our good friends Red and Jerry, we're going to do a top 20 countdown for 2013.
Who's Red and Jerry?
Red and Jerry's Rockin' Metal Revival.
What the hell is that?
It's another show. It's a show that we're friends with.
But, I mean, do they make food? Because they just sound like they have food.
No, they don't make ice cream.
I want to go meet with them. Red and Jerry. Red and Jerry just sounds like something's cooking, and I want some of it. Can we find them on the internet?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if we had to smell for the grill and you, follow. It's Red and Jerry. I'd like a bratwurst and an Italian sausage, Red.
Right. Exactly. Well, Chris
so
and
what we do? You at top 20 what?
We're doing a top 20 CD countdown for 2013. And
this is so easy. There's a band called Dead, White, and Blue.
Okay.
And they have a new CD out called Mary Jane. And they asked me, they were like, will you produce our CD? I was like, hey, whoa. When you come down off that stuff, call me because you're kind of mixed up right now. So they came down off the stuff, and then they called me and said, hey, we're off the stuff now. Will you produce the CD? I'm like, this is the most perfect classic metal CD I've ever heard. So go look up, and I guarantee that you guys will be like, what the hell? The lyrics, what this guy does with the guitar, how he writes the song. So that has to be at least number 19 on the 20. Dead, White, and Blue, Mary Jane.
All right, I'll check that out.
Your friend Dave Tedder could send it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll have to reach out
Dave
to him.
Tedder's on the run right now, but you could still contact him.
That reminds me, Mr. Eric. Are you, and again, here's another one you don't have to answer if you're not comfortable.
Why? What is this you don't have to answer?
Well,
what is this, people Matt?
Well, because it could be a sensitive subject. But are you on good terms with Mr. Tedder?
Yeah, but the thing is, the only people listening to this that know him and me is like you.
Right.
So I'm on good terms with him, myself, and it's my mom. And you have to understand that you're asking that question right there. That guy and his wife have experienced every St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas with Mr. and Mrs. Paul Braverman, my mother and father, for the last I don't know how many years. So he's welcome to come there on Thanksgiving, but we'll see how he actually. This should answer the question. His little record company put out Dead, White, and Blue.
Okay.
Get down. So you know how I get along with people. I help them. Even he does. I don't care if they aimed a shotgun at my baby's head. Big deal. Not a big deal. What'll happen? The baby's head blows apart, and there's a bunch of blood and brains and shit to clean up. And Child Protection Services come over again, and it's like, yeah, I lost another one. And they, so it's kind of like that. If Dave Tedder tells me to come over here right now and chew his food, I'm excited.
Right.
And you really need to check out this Dead, White, and Blue. I think you should contact Dave. Their singer their singer, guitar player, and writer was born to alcoholic country music legends from Montana and unloaded their equipment in his pajamas in the winter when he was 5 years old. And I really think that you guys would listen to that CD that Dave Tedder was smart enough to put out.
Right.
And Dave Tedder's known me my whole adult life. So I don't think do you think it's fair for him to get angry or uncomfortable with me knowing what you two know?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I just know.
No, okay, but say I was in a room with you and you ended up soaked in urine. And then, I called you a month or two later. It's not like, what's the surprise? There was a huge urine leak.
Right.
So you guys are expecting, I'm not just going to come in and go, hey, everything's smooth and cool, and there's not a rabid bat and a rabid dog, and, oh, I'm sorry, the only tool I brought was a hammer, that stuff.
Right.
So Dave is a sensitive soul who cares about people, and I'm an abscess soul.
Right.
So the answer to your question is, Dave, I would like him to come in and start partying tonight, and what more can I do than when you ask me top 20 and endorse a CD that he's working on hard. He has that guy on the Armed Forces Network tomorrow night.
Nice.
Yeah, Dave Tedder has Dead, White, and Blue. Rusty Workman. The guy's name is Rusty Workman. He'd probably get along great with Red and Jerry.
No doubt.
They could have a barbecue together. Probably, hey, I'm Rusty. I'm Red. I'm a hot dog. And they just get along.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't even know if that answered your question or if you're more confused.
No, I kind of get the picture.
Yeah, read that James Hetfield book by Mark Eglinton. James, Jason, and ... Eric. Anytime they put ... before your name, it means uh-oh.
All right.
What do you do? Sure, I had a loaded BB gun in church. But ultimately, how far can the BB go into a person's ass? You ever heard of somebody getting killed from a BB being lodged in their ass?
Can't say that I have.
Lighten up, folks.
Right.
So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Have the greatest time. I'm ready to go on any project anytime. I'm super proud of all of us. You've kept your thing going for 17 years. I've been doing it for 1 year. We probably got the same amount of Facebook likes because we don't want to go buy Facebook likes because we know how to use a dictionary. It's just good.
Excellent. All right, Eric. Well, congratulations on year one.
Congratulations to you.
So we'll bring you back again, and we'll let you impart your knowledge and wisdom to the folks.
Yeah, and Chris, if you want to work on Roku or anything else, actually communicate with me, and I don't care if you could stick your cane up my ass.
I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I'm going to definitely get.
Well, you do it from. Well, say what if you threw it? If you just throw your cane.
Well,
it's not like you're holding the cane while it actually goes in.
Right.
And if I'm spreading, you got a bigger shot.
Right. It's not gay if I'm not holding it.
I'm the friendliest person, and Neeley asked that question at the beginning, and we go back to this, and I'm the friendliest person ever in the world.
Hey, I have no issues.
It's awesome. So, and if there's ever a problem, it's real easy to see what's wrong. I'm the common denominator. So we don't have to, it's like, oh, yeah, you got me. I'm from Arizona.
Right.
They wouldn't even allow us statehood. They're like, I'm not sure. Well, there's no more room left. All right, we'll let them have their state. Last state, just boo. Hawaii. I think they threw Hawaii together when we were done. It wasn't even, it's like an island. There's not even white people there.
Sure.
Let's make it a state. So yes, thank you. The thanks all go to you guys, and yeah, heavy metal television is fun when you don't have time for the classic metal show or they're repeating something. You can go to heavy metal television because just while we were here watching it, I saw Loudness and Danzig and Alice Cooper, and they're just kind of being classic metal tonight, probably because you guys are doing your thing.
Right.
So, yeah, however we may serve you, and thank you, metal fans of the world, because we would have nothing without you crazy person that goes to work all day and then wants to go home and listen to heavy metal music and drink a beer. We salute you all together.
Sure. All right, Eric. Well, again, congratulations. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here on the show. As always, you're always welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
So I thought I would dig back in the archives for some Slayer.
Thank you.
And go back to
Necrophilia?
How about Show No Mercy?
They both mean the same to me.
Right.
Screwing someone to death.
Right.
That's already dead in one case. It's a corpse. Let's keep screwing it.
Right.
Yeah, Show No Mercy is beautiful, and yes, Jeff Hanneman, it's still painful for me, and 6 months later it's like not real because it just takes away like 25% of my clout, and I'm going, well, Jeff Hanneman agrees, because no one could get a hold of Jeff Hanneman to ask him if he agreed or not. I would just say that.
Sure.
He didn't even care. And if it got back to him, he would just grunt at the person.
Right.
So I don't have that anymore. So thank you guys, and any time, and yes, Chris, anything we can do just that you're interested in, please contact me because we're a fan and you know more than we know.
All right, well, let's do it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Eric. Well, here it is. It's Slayer with Show No Mercy.
Love it.
Exclusively here
on your classic.
An hour.